What is up, dudes, and welcome to episode 98 of Chillin with Dylan. I know it's been a couple days since I uploaded, but dude, honestly, I just didn't really feel like it, and I didn't really want to be making like boring videos, because like, I don't know, it's just been kind of like working, and the weekend was pretty fun, but, I didn't want to just keep making videos at the front desk here with just, not really anything to talk about. So here we are. We're back on it. I'm still alive. We're still kicking. So I guess I'll just kind of start with like an overview of the last couple days. So over the weekend, it was pretty fun. I linked up with some of the folks from the downtown hostel, and dude, I just want to say I am so glad I'm not there anymore, because literally I heard about 2 incidents that happened in like the last couple days. Like, the freaking stove like basically blew up because I think the gas was on or something, and someone went to turn on like the oven, and then big ball of fire, and it burned this girl in her face and burned a bunch of her hair and shit, and that's just crazy. And then I heard some dude got like hit with a hammer, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, the downtown location is crazy, and I'm just so glad I'm not there anymore. This location at the beach is way more chill. But anyway, went and linked up with a couple people downtown, and we went out to Balboa Park, and kind of just walked around, hung out for a bit, and then afterward there was this like party thing at like a nightclub, like you could get in for free, and I'm not much of a club guy, and that was like my first time in an actual nightclub. Like, I've been to like bars and stuff where it's like dancing and lights and all that stuff, but this was like an actual like dress code place and everything. And I don't know if you've noticed, but this is the type of shit I wear on the daily. So I pulled up there, and I was wearing like a pair of shorts and just like that green sweater I'm always wearing, and I had a pink bandana on, and I pull up and they're like, oh, you can't wear shorts. So I had to leave and go back to the hostel, look in the lost and found a pair of pants, and then I went back and they were like, you can't wear the bandana. And I was like, okay, whatever, dude. Took off the bandana, and then we went in there, and it was just loud and a bunch of people everywhere, and the lights were just crazy. The drinks were super expensive. And yeah, I just really did not feel like that was my kind of scene. Especially because, like, I don't know, everyone was like super dressed up and shit, and I was like, dude, I kind of, look like a fucking skater hippie dude or whatever. Which is whatever, I don't give a fuck, but like, it just like, I was like, this is not my kind of crowd. But like, what got me, dude, was like fucking, they told me I couldn't wear shorts, and then I go in there and there's a bunch of girls wearing shorts, and I'm like, that is just kind of fucked up. Like why is there that weird double standard, whatever. But, still was having a good time dancing, just chilling with the homies. But it just got to a point where I was like, I really don't want to be here right now. I love the homies and everything, but deuces. And I just took off, and I had another trek walking from downtown back to here in Pacific Beach, which was, I was walking from like 11 p.m. until 6 a.m. about. Didn't really stop either, so it's quite a walk, dude. It's quite a walk. But I don't know, it was kind of nice because I did not see another person at all until I got to like PB, and then I started seeing people, but it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, so of course people are getting ready for work and stuff. So yeah, that was kind of like the weekend. And then I literally just slept all Sunday, and woke up for like 2 hours at like 8 o'clock at night, and then went back to bed until fucking 7 in the morning when I started working. And then yeah, it's just been work at the map shop and at the hostel. And I know in the last videos I was talking about how I was going to go to either Colorado or Idaho for seasonal gigs. But now I'm going back out to Utah. I don't know, I really kind of just was like sitting with it, and I don't know, man, my heart just kept like nudging towards Utah. Like, because when I think about like going to Idaho or Colorado, it was just questions and doubts and all this and anxiety about the whole thing, just everything. But when I just like the idea of going back to Utah popped up, it was like everything just started moving, like everything just felt like a well-oiled machine. Like, I was like, oh, I could just text the HR manager and be like, hey, I want to work there again. I did that, and then it just started moving, and within like an hour it was like, okay, yeah, you can come whenever you want, and we have a job for you, and that's that. So I'm going back to Utah, and like, I don't know, man, it's just very interesting because that didn't feel like it took any effort to make that choice, and that's how I know it's the right one. Because I have no resistance towards it, and I'm excited for it, and it makes me happy thinking about it. And whereas the other options, it felt like, I'd have to just jump through all these hoops, and it was all this headache and all this confusion and uncertainty. And I don't know, man, I've always heard, like, if it feels right, it is right, and this feels right. So I'm just so excited to be back with like a lot of my friends. It feels like Utah is my home, and everyone out there is my chosen family, like, if I'm being honest. But I'm so excited, dude, because taking off from San Diego in like 2.5-3 weeks, me and Chandler are gonna go all the way up to Idaho, stop in Yellowstone on the way, and then I'm gonna come all the way back down to Utah on a freaking Greyhound. That's gonna be like a 30-hour ride, so that'll be fun. But I don't know, man, like, it feels different. And I feel like I'm really like out of that slump that I was in for a bit. Like, I'm sure whoever watches these videos, I'm sure you noticed, like, I was definitely in a bit of a slump, a weird kind of headspace for the last like month. But like, dude, I was like, come on, man, get out of that. Like, and I feel like a big part of it was like, I kept trying to be like, why am I so upset? What's all this, like, kind of just like resisting the feeling and trying to fix it, and I understand now that it's like these like moods that you fall into aren't something to fix or try to solve. It's more of just like something that needs to be acknowledged, felt, and released. And then you choose, after you like acknowledge where you're at, then you can choose where you want to go. And I feel like for a minute there I was just like really focusing on a lot of negative and like all this and all that, but now I've been doing a thing where like I'll just, for a couple minutes I focus on what I'm grateful for just right now, and then like a couple minutes I'll focus on just like being present and just like not like having all the mental chatter and just being here and experiencing this moment. And then I'll cycle into kind of like what do I want? What are things that I want out of life? And I'll kind of contemplate on that for a minute. And then, just all throughout the day, I've been just like, what do I see right now that is beautiful and lovely? And not just like physically beautiful and lovely, but I'm saying like, like seeing somebody help somebody pick something up off the ground that they dropped. Like, that's beautiful, that's lovely, that gives me faith in humanity. Or like, just looking at like a restaurant with a bunch of people laughing and socializing and smiling, I'm like, that's lovely, that's beautiful. Like, these people are living their life and enjoying the people around them. Or like even when I'm checking people into this hostel, I'm like, oh, that's so lovely, like these people are fortunate enough to have a place to stay, and like they have money in their pockets that they could pay for this with. And like I've been focusing more on that, of just like, what is the good in this situation? And it's been making a huge difference, because like you always hear the saying like, you are what you eat. And I feel like all of our thoughts that we have throughout the day, it's like our mental food, and it's like whatever you are contemplating on throughout the day and kind of meditating on and thinking about, you're going to become that. You're going to become what you're contemplating on. So, if you are always thinking about all the negative and all the garbage bullshit all the time, like, you're going to become a negative person that's just always talking about garbage bullshit. But if you're contemplating on these lovely things and contemplating on beauty and wonderfulness or whatever, or things to be grateful for, like, you're gonna be a lovely, wonderful, grateful person. And it's never been as clear to me as it is now that whenever you fall into these negative states of mind, or like these kind of like thought loops or sinkholes, more like thought sinkholes, don't argue with it. Don't try to fix it or solve it. Just pull yourself out. Like, be like, okay, this is where I'm at. It's not where I want to be. Let's calm down, take a deep breath, return to the present, and move forward differently in a way that I want to. And I've been asking myself a lot too, when I catch myself reacting to things rather than acting on things, I'll be like, as soon as I feel the reaction coming up, turn on light, turn on. Hold up. There we go. Motion sensor light. But whenever I catch myself about to like have a, old reaction to something, where I'm just repeating the same things that I've always done, in a way that like doesn't serve me anymore. When I notice like I'm acting out of old habits and patterns, I'll look at the situation and be like, I'll think about my highest ideal self, and I'll be like, how would he react? How would he act in this situation? How would he see this situation? How would he feel? And I'll do that. And it's like, even in the tiniest things, it's like making all these little micro adjustments to who you are and what you are. And I want to just make this a daily, not even daily, like a moment to moment practice of just constantly being aware of like, what kind of mental things am I contemplating on all day? What am I consuming mentally? And you know, who am I becoming, like, in this moment? Like, by doing what I'm doing right now, where is that leading me? And you know, like, it's been a lot easier to just catch myself, like, you know, for a second I'll be like, God fucking damn it, and then I'll be like, I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to be that pissed off, angry, sad guy. You know, I want to be happy and fulfilled and at ease and calm and you know, focused. And yeah, I don't know, it's just become a lot easier to catch myself falling into those things, and just move forward differently. You know, just the awareness itself of what the problem is the solution. You know, a lot of these things that we do all the time that don't serve us are just old things that are running on autopilot in the background, that we're not even aware of these things. And you know, if you don't even know what the problem is, there is no fixing it. But as soon as you know what your problem is, you know what the solution is, and then it's just up to you to, you know, are you gonna stay a victim to your own mental circumstances in this situation, or are you gonna choose something better and move forward that way? But you know, if you just wallow in it and stay a victim, you can't complain, you can't blame anything, because you're keeping yourself there. But you can move forward differently. Awareness is what will provide that solution for you, and all you have to do is accept the solution. Take it, make it your new way, make it your new style, you know. I don't know, man. Like, even with, like, being tired lately, like, I'll wake up in the morning and sometimes I'll just be like, fuck, dude, like, I'm so tired. But, you know, I know that if I start thinking that way, I'm just gonna, it's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. So as soon as I see that, just cut it off. Stop the snowball and make a new one out of positivity. And I'll be like, you know what? I am tired, but it's going to be a great day. It's wonderful. It's awesome. Let's fucking kick ass and, you know, see the best in everything. And then I just kind of lean into that. Just lean into it and let it keep building on itself throughout the day. And, you know, by the time I'm, like, done getting ready, I'm not even tired anymore. I'm ready to fucking rock and roll. So yeah, dude, I don't know. I just wanted to fill y'all in on the videos and hop back on them. I promise y'all there's going to be a lot more fun videos coming up, especially once I'm in Utah, because it's just not going to be work. Like, finally have some time to be a little more creative and have fun. So stay tuned, dudes. Peace out. I love you. Goodbye.